songwriter. He is credited with having written more than 4,000 songs, each of which I will list when he comes out. This is his new album. It's called What the World Needs Now. Please welcome Smokey Robinson. Great to have you here. Boy, I was doing the math on this 4,000 songs, and it doesn't really make any sense at all, because if you started when you were 10 years old, that means you've written more than one song, 1.25 songs every week until, like, this week.
But wait a minute, you said you're going to list all of them, so I want to hear.
I would like to list all of them.
I've forgotten a lot of them.
I would like to. I'm going to go through them all with you at one time,
Okay.
and I need to be more prepared. But it is remarkable. Like, have you written a song this week?
Not yet.
Not yet. Of the many, many songs you've written, do you have a favorite?
Not yet.
No.
No, I really don't, man. You know, they're like your kids, you know. When you write a song, I try to give them all the same attention while I'm writing them, you know, so I can't pick one. Probably if I could tell you my favorite song, Jimmy, it wouldn't be a song that I had anything to do with.
Is that right?
Yeah, because, you know, I've been listening to songs and music all my life since I was 2 years old. So I love songs. I'm a songwriter. I love songs and songwriters, and I've always followed songwriters and things like that. So I just love songs, man. So I couldn't possibly tell you what my favorite song is.
I would hope you love songs because you've written so many of them. It's great. Do you have a song that you do not of yours that you do not enjoy performing?
Not yet.
Not yet. A lot of your hits were recorded by, a lot of your songs, too, were recorded by other artists. Some of the songs you wrote for other artists. Some of them, other artists just loved the songs and recorded them. I have a list of some. The Beatles, the Stones, Linda Ronstadt, The English Beat, Huey Lewis and Gwyneth Paltrow did a version of your song. Do you have a favorite cover of one of your songs done by another artist?
No, not really, man. You know, when somebody covers one of my songs, I think it's flattery. You know, there's a billion songs on earth, Jimmy. You know, somebody, especially
You wrote like half of them, yeah.
and most of the people who have recorded one of my songs or who has included it, you know, like they sample them and like that, you know, are songwriters themselves.
Right,
So,
sure,
you know,
yeah.
if they like one of mine well enough to include it in theirs or just to record it or something, that's great for me.
I remember the band in the 80s, ABC, wrote a song about you when Smokey sings. That had to be unusual for you, huh?
That was very nice.
Yeah, yeah. This is from 1980. This is a photograph of you and your friends, Lionel Richie and Rick James.
James.
You and Lionel have been friends for how long?
Forever, man. You know, it's at the point, Lionel and I tease each other about this because people always call him Smokey Robinson and always call me Lionel Richie.
They do?
Yeah, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And what do you do when they call you Lionel Richie?
Hey, one morning I'm in the airport, okay, and I think I'm being really incognito because I got on these sunglasses. I'm scooped down like this and I'm reading a book, and these two kids are over there, you know, and they, you know, the guy is saying, and the girl is saying, and she's, so they finally come over to me. He says, hey, man, I got all your music. I got everything you've ever done. I love you so much. I can't believe that this is you sitting here, but I want you to meet my girlfriend, man. So I want you to sign something for her. Would you sign Love to Sarah from Lionel Richie?
And what did you say?
I signed Love to Sarah from Lionel Richie.
You're always writing. You were part of We Are the World, which was I assume you watched the documentary on that. What sticks out memory-wise for you from that night?
Just the fact that all those people were there together, man. Mm-hmm. You know, we were all there together, and even the people that you hadn't really met yet, you knew them through their works, you know. And it was a great night, man.
Everyone seemed to be pretty intimidated by Michael Jackson. They were like nervous about singing in front of Michael Jackson, but you'd known Michael since he was just a kid.
Since he was 10, so I wasn't nervous about it at all.
You weren't at all, no. Yeah.
In fact, you mentioned people singing my songs, man. I have a song now that I wrote many years ago, and now it's Michael Jackson's song. A song called Who's Loving You?
Oh, now it's become...
I recorded that with the Miracles many, many years ago, and it was on the back of our first million seller at Motown, Shop Around, okay? So they turned the record over and they started playing Who's Loving You by the Miracles of Me, and it was okay, you know. And when I wrote the song, I had to be in my early 20s or something, so I had some life experience. In fact, I was married, so I had some life experience. Here comes an 11-year-old boy, and I know good and well he didn't really know all that song was talking about, you know, and sang it and made it his. If I do any of it now, live, in person, at a concert, people will come up to me and say, "Why'd you sing Michael Jackson's song?"
They do.
He made it his, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Would you write me an album of songs?
Absolutely.
I would love to record an album of original songs written by, maybe the ones you don't like, you can throw to me.
No, I would give you all songs that I like, man.
Oh, that would be absolutely wonderful. This is your new album. It is an album of cover songs, interestingly, for the man who's written so many songs. It's called What the World Needs Now. Why is it called obviously the song What the World Needs Now. Well, why did you call it that?
I really didn't pick the title.
You didn't?
No. My publishing partners, Primary Wave in New York, you know, sent me a list of what they considered to be inspirational songs, not spiritual or religious or anything, just inspirational songs, okay? And so I picked from that list that they sent me, and those are the ones that I picked.
These are the ones.
On there, yeah, and I'm very proud of it. It turned out really good. And the thing that I liked about it the most is that all I had to do was go to the studio and sing.
Right, yeah, you didn't have to sit down and scratch all this stuff out.
Do all that and produce it.
I do want to ask you about your last album. It came out a couple of years ago, and unfortunately, I was unable to have you on the show at that time. I was hoping to ask you about it because it was called Gasm.
Yeah.
Which is short for?
GASMs.
For orgasm, yeah.
Well,
have you had so many of them that you need to shorten it now? Is it,
you know what,
It's like, got to go through all those syllables.
No. That was the reason that I called it that, because I wanted it to be controversial. You know?
Right, sure, yeah.
And see, when you say gasm, that's the gasm that most people go to. I guess that's the most important one, though.
Are there other gasms?
Yes, there are, man.
Let's go through them.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me get Carol Burnett and see if she can figure out how many gasms.
No, we'd have to do word.
What are the other gasms?
We'd have to do word order.
There's orgasm, obviously.
No, Jimmy, I looked it up. When I decided I was going to call the album Gasms, while I was writing the song Gasm, I looked it up. Now, gasm is any good feeling you might have.
Oh.
Any good feeling you might have is a gasm.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So it's not just
right
sex.
now, Jimmy?
What's that?
Are you having a gasm?
Can I tell you something? My dad is having a gasm right now.
Okay.
Because you are my dad's all-time favorite.
I love him.
Number one favorite. And in fact, I asked my dad this afternoon, and I knew this was a mistake going in. I asked him, do you have any questions that you would like to ask Smokey Robinson? And he did come up with some questions. Dad, did you want to ask your question?
Sure.
There he is. Say hello to
Great, okay.
Mr.
Hey,
Robinson.
Smokey, how you doing, man?
Yeah.
I'm good. How are you?
He's written them down.
And this is my girl.
There you go.
I think the first one you already answered. Your favorite song you wrote and recorded.
Oh, okay, yeah, he did. He said he doesn't have. He said he would be like picking his favorite child. By the way, I am my parents' favorite child.
Absolutely.
You the only child?
No, there are two others, but I'm number one.
We get in here for free.
What's number two? Question number two.
What song you wrote for someone else, but you wish you recorded?
Okay.
None of them.
None of them.
None of them, you know, because when I've written a song for someone else, that person has inspired me to write that song. And I feel, I'll use an example here. I'll just take My Girl for an example, okay? Now, My Girl is, as a songwriter, has really become like my international anthem.
Yeah.
We play My Girl in our live concerts, okay? And we go to places where the primary language is not even English. Okay, we're in France or Italy or somewhere where most of the people in the audience probably don't even speak English. And they all know the words to My Girl. They all sing it when we sing it and all that. So music is like the international language. So that has become probably my most popular song as a songwriter worldwide. But had it not been for the Temptations, the reason I wrote My Girl is because David Ruffin was in that group. And the first hits that they had, we used Eddie Kendricks to sing, the high voice guy, to sing the basic leads for those songs, okay? I knew David Ruffin was in that group, and I used to always tease David and tell him that, you know, he would scare the girls into loving him because he had that voice, come here, baby, I want to do it. But he could really sing, okay? So I wanted David to sing something sweet to the girls, and that's why I wrote My Girl. So had it not been for the Temptations and David, probably never would have written that song.
You give him that dum 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 dum. They must have went nuts.
Hey man, and that just goes to show you how life is, because that wasn't even supposed to be on the record. It wasn't even supposed to be there. I had it starting off with our bass player, James Jamerson, a guy in the Funk Brothers, and he started off boom 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 boom, and we're sitting in the studio, we're getting ready to run it down for the very first time, okay? Our main guitarist was a guy named Robert White. So Robert stands up and he starts walking around the studio playing don 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 don, and then he said, "Oh no, man!" I said, "Oh no, nothing. That's going on the record." So
You knew it right away.
So that's where that came from, man.
See, that was a good question, Dad. You have one more?
Yeah, in fact, saw that documentary, The Shadows of Motown, with the Funk Brothers. But what were the working conditions like at the Hitsville studio?
What do you mean, like what was the bathroom like there?
I heard it wasn't
Were
great.
there any OSHA violations at the...
No, but the echo chamber was in the bathroom upstairs, so...
Is that right? So you would record in the bathroom?
No. We just, you know, piped it down.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
When we first started, yeah, the echo chamber was...
That's my father's echo chamber, also the bathroom. He's been many years in the echo chamber. I mean, he's still in there all the time. All right. Well,
was he echoing in there?
We are honored to have you here tonight. Honestly, we really are. And I want to say that this is Smokey's new album. It's called What the World Needs Now. And when we come back, we're going to hear music from the great Smokey Robinson, everybody. We'll be right back. Guillermo, do you know how many subscribers we have on YouTube now?
20 million.
That's right. Yeah, that's why we're wearing these glasses. Thanks for being a subscriber. If you're not, help us get to 20,000,001.